Picture this. You've just stepped out of the ocean, dripping wet, jumped on your scooter and taken it up the mountain to a viewpoint. You stop at a cafe, put your backpack down and go to order a fresh mango smoothie. You get back to your table when panic sets in. All your stuff is gone. Your phone, your laptop, your passport, your life, it's all gone in a moment. You're sweating more than usual. Your heartbeat is rising. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. So you look around, frantic, panicked, looking for your bag. You look up at the tree and you spot a monkey sitting in the tree. He's holding your laptop like a prized banana. You approach the monkey, remembering that they are serious negotiators. You read about it on Instagram. They want a swap. So you look at your mango smoothie, you look at the monkey, again at the smoothie, again at the monkey, again at the smoothie, again at the monkey, and you offer the monkey a swap. After a tense standoff, the monkey drops your laptop and snatches the mango smoothie right from your hands. Just before your laptop drops to the ground, you catch it, safe and sound. Your baby is fine, undamaged, unharmed. What a relief. Little monkey fingerprints as evidence. Now, from where you're watching this video, that might seem completely far-fetched, but for digital nomads living in Bali, that's the reality of life. Oi. That's the reality of life. The monkey mafia is all too real. But what does it matter? Bali's just one place. The thing is, the people who go there to work, make money remotely, they're called digital nomads. And they've chosen Bali as one of the main hubs in the world. It's not the only one, but in this video, I'm going to tell you all about digital nomads, where to find them, how you can become one, different models for making money, and wrap it all up with a nice summary. I'm also going to talk a bit about AI and a bit about brain drain, so stick around. I think this is going to be a really interesting, comprehensive video. It's also the first in our new format. More on that in a sec. Substreamers, let me welcome you back to Substream. Yes, just Substream. We've dropped the news network. There's no more SNN. There's no more Substream News Network. It's just Substream. It's cleaner, it's more efficient, and it doesn't box us into just doing news, because we realized what we really want to do is research into tech, culture, dystopia, futurism, whatever. And by doing it about the news, our videos expire so fast. We want to create more long-term, useful, actionable content. So yeah, we're switching up the format, and I think you're going to enjoy it a lot more. And hopefully, who knows, it's going to be a lot more shareable. So we're starting with this theme, how to become a digital nomad in 2025. And you might not know it, but I've been a digital nomad for over 10 years. Yes, I'm that old. And yes, I was doing it before it was cool and trendy. So I think I'm pretty well placed to deliver this video. Let's go. You may be wondering, what is a digital nomad? Well, I can tell you, it doesn't have to be a Bali bum. It's just someone with a laptop or a phone or a tablet who's able to make money from it while they travel, basically anywhere in the world. This is about having the freedom to enjoy living wherever you choose and working from there too. It's not about working from home in one particular place or being on holiday without working. It is not a perpetual holiday, but it sometimes can feel like it, I will admit, especially when you don't have a lot of work on. But more than that, it's about blending work and travel into a total, comprehensive lifestyle. Let me explain. Now, some digital nomads may go work in co-working spaces because they feel that they need an office environment. That is conditioning, in my opinion, but some people like it. Others can just happily work from an Airbnb or a hotel or guest house. Others will go work from a cafe or a library, because really, you just need Wi-Fi to stay connected. Or do you? Actually, these days, you don't even need Wi-Fi. All you need is a 4G or 5G connection, or a Starlink subscription. They work just as well. And that means that there's people doing van life, or people living as like camping or on bicycles, traveling the world. Pretty much nowadays we are globally connected to the internet if we want to be, which means you really can work from anywhere. Last week, I took a Google Meet call while I was sat on a temple at Angkor Wat in Cambodia. basically in the jungle, which I thought was pretty cool. Oh, and if you think the word digital nomad is cringe, so do we. We kind of hate it. It's awful, really. It's just, unfortunately, the term that stuck. Like, there were other attempts. I don't know, I think I heard laptop gypsies, meta nomads, location independent. Oh, God, there's all sorts of things. Teleworker, telecommuter. There's some really terrible ideas out there. Unfortunately, digital nomad stuck, so we've got to roll with it. That's just reality. So who are they and what do they do? Well, I would say that most digital nomads identify as developers, content creators, traders, writers, remote workers, salespeople, things like that. Just basically things that you can do from a computer or a tablet anywhere. I've read a statistic that I can back up that between 5 and 6% of Americans are now self-identifying as digital nomads, which is pretty impressive, really. Why did this happen? Of course, digital technology helped, but there's got to be more to it than that, right? Well, people from the West have been looking for alternative lifestyles and places to live for a long time. Actually, people from all over the world always believe that the grass is greener and will look to go and move somewhere else. Why not? And if you can make money from your laptop, hey, more power to you, right? Now, unfortunately, there are some downsides that I have to explore in this video. There would be the economic black hole that it creates, gentrification of local communities, and one thing that right now I'm really interested in, which is brain drain, right? You're seeing the UK, where I'm from, is experiencing a massive brain drain, well publicised. A millionaire leaves the UK every 45 minutes. Now, not all of those are digital nomads, but you have to assume that if they can move with their money and their work, that most of them are, or at least a good percentage. Now, I want to tell you my story as a digital nomad, and unlike hundreds of millions or tens of millions of other people who were pushed into it due to the COVID-19 pandemic, I've been doing it a long, long time, as I mentioned in the intro. I've been working remotely since 2014, so let me rewind and go back to the start. I studied journalism, and when I finished university, I found an internship doing a kind of journalism marketing hybrid graduate scheme for an environmental sustainability company. And it was 4 days a week at home and 1 day a week in the office with the boss who lived nearby, which is why he hired me, because I lived in the same city. So, it was good. And I don't know, I think it was about 9 months in, he decided to relocate. And so there was no need for me to stay there either. And, I had enough money, just enough saved, and the salary, he gave me a little salary increase. And so I moved to Spain. And the time I moved to Spain, I didn't really know what a digital nomad was. It wasn't until I started researching like the realistic logistics of working from another country that I discovered there was a very small digital nomad community. And there were some even influencers back then. I believe Johnny FD. There was, I think, Kate Wanderlust. I don't even know if these guys are still creating content, but they were quite influential to me at the start. Yeah, so it all started with that job, but that job didn't work out. After just a few months, I ended up back in the UK and working in an office, and it sucked. It really sucked. And I had had a taste of the digital nomad life, and I couldn't get it out of my head. And so I made the world move. I did everything I could to get back into being a digital nomad, and that meant creating my own business, because back then there were not many remote jobs. We're talking 2015, end of 2015, there were not really remote jobs. So at the start of 2016, I started my first business, a fully remote content marketing agency for environmental and sustainability customers, and it did pretty well. I have to say, the lifestyle it gave me, traveling the world, doing incredible things, meeting incredible people, going to so many countries, was incredible. And, I felt like a pioneer. There were not many digital nomads back then, and not many were sharing their story. So I got published in Forbes and Digital Insider and Inc. And it was awesome. Sometimes I really felt like the spotlight was on me. I was going on podcasts and making it in the newspaper. And it was awesome. And then I sold my business and got out and decided to do something else. And I took a break, but I never stopped being a digital nomad. Because once you know how to make money online wherever you are, why would you stop, right? Why would you stop? You just have to learn how to start, and once that tap is on, there's no reason to ever turn it off. It is a skill to be able to get customers anywhere in the world and make money, because wow, the lifestyle it gives you is absolutely incredible. I've rambled on a lot. Let's get back to the main story. If you have any questions for me about my digital nomad story, drop them in the comments. I will happily share them, but let's move on for now. Actually, just before I do move on, yes, I received a lot of pushback. You may be wondering that. Did people think I was crazy? Yes. Did my family think I was crazy? Yes. I had an argument, big argument with my dad about it. I remember that. I wasn't crazy. I was pioneering. I was innovative. I was trying to do something different. And, you know, that's a great way to live your life. I believe, to push the boundaries. I don't do now what I did back then. My skills evolved, my abilities evolved, my network grew, and I became interested in different things. And I moved away from sustainability and environmental work, and I became a ghostwriter. I've been a writer all these years, but I now work as a ghostwriter, and that is a wonderful work that you can do from anywhere. I absolutely love my job. Every day is a joy, honestly. I love writing articles. I love working with interesting people. I have so much job satisfaction from my work, to a point where I don't know many people who love working as much as I do. And I work a lot of hours, not because I need to, but because I love it. I really, really love it. And I love that I can just go travel whenever I like, because I know my work won't get in the way, and I've got the money to do it. And that is a really, fortunate position to be in. It's something I will always be grateful for. But it all starts from a risk I took to become a digital nomad 10 years ago, and to watch videos and read blogs like this when there were not very many. And I know right now, publishing this video into a very noisy, saturated market where everyone wants to tell you how to do something, I think there are ways for you to figure out how to do it for yourself instead of copying someone else's model. You will find your ikigai, and I will talk about ikigai in this story. So let's keep going. Over the last 10 years working as a digital nomad, I've worked from more than 50 different countries, which is pretty good, I'd say. But I know people who've visited over 100 during that time, which is amazing. I have my favorites. There are some places that are digital nomad hubs that I think shouldn't be, and there are places that are not that definitely should be. That's all opinion. It's completely subjective. But I want to tell you, if you are planning on becoming a digital nomad, where should you go to find others like you? Because trust me on this one, finding a community of people wherever you go in the world will save you. It can get lonely at times. Excuse me, sir. I'm recording for Substream. Would you have a moment to talk about being a digital nomad? A digital meow-mad? Excuse me, sir. Good point. Substreamers. I've been doing my research to find out where exactly digital nomads go these days. Because, well, it's changed a bit. 10 years ago when I started, there was only really one place that they went, and that was Chiang Mai, Thailand. Well, now you've got all sorts of different hubs around the world. So I'm going to go through the list, and the wonderful editor can overlay some beautiful images for you to look at. So, number one. Apparently, the biggest digital nomad hub in the world is actually Lisbon, Portugal, known for its welcoming culture and D8 digital nomad visa. I actually lived there many years ago. It's very nice. And they have a tax system that means you don't get taxed on crypto. I can't remember the exact details on that. But they also have a system where if you live there for 5 years on that visa, I think you qualify for citizenship. So if you're a global nomad from outside the EU, it's a really good way to get an EU passport. As a digital nomad, that's pretty impressive. Number two, Bali, Indonesia. What a surprise. It's famous for its communities in Ubud and Canggu, and the monkey mafia and avocado toast and acai bowls and rampant tourism and the destruction of the natural habitat. And I'll get into it later. Number three, Chiang Mai, Thailand. It's still there. It's a long-time favorite for affordability. I'm actually going there next week as I love it and I see myself settling down and retiring there when I'm older. I really love Chiang Mai. It's a wonderful place. You can live on about $600 or $700 a month at a stretch. I think that's just about doable. I don't know why you'd want to. If you're a digital nomad, you should try and make more money. That's my opinion. But it's a wonderful place to get started. So many beginner digital nomads go there. Number 4, we have Medellin, Colombia. It's very popular for its climate, its cost of living, and beautiful people, I am told. I never actually went there. I just went to Cartagena. But I've heard Medellin is incredible. Although you have to be a bit careful about crime, and scopolamina is like a kind of date rape drug that's quite prevalent there. So just be careful. But yeah, everyone says Colombia is great, and I know they now have a kind of digital nomad visa, so it's easier to stay there long term. Number 5, Mexico City, Mexico. I loved Mexico City. Honestly, guys, it's amazing. I think it's 5 tacos for $1 is what I found right by my hotel. I would double in size living in Mexico City. The food is incredible. The architecture is insane. It's so walkable. I felt really safe and it's pretty cheap. I mean, they're saying that it's less cheap now. I went like 3 years ago, but it's less cheap now because there's been a huge influx of Americans finding remote jobs and moving to Mexico City as it's the next country along and considerably cheaper. So it allows them to keep their time zone more or less and enjoy a much cheaper cost of life in a wonderful, developed, friendly city full of great food. It's one of the best cities I've ever been to, and massive, so much to do. Number 6, I've never been there, but it's Tbilisi in Georgia. It's an emerging digital nomad hub with a 1-year free visa for people from most countries, not quite anywhere, but I believe most countries can go there and get a 1-year on arrival stamp. And then obviously you should sort out your tax situation and talk to your accountant and all that sort of stuff. If you are making money there, I don't know what their laws are. Just be careful on that front. But Georgia's got glaciers, mountains, beaches. It's a bit of everything, and it's meant to be really cheap. And I've been to Georgian restaurants before. Wow, the food is bloody good. Next one, number 7, Berlin, Germany. I have been there. It's really known for its entrepreneurship and startup scene for so many different industries. I think that's one of its shining lights. It used to be super cheap. I always considered moving there, but the weather and the language, they weren't quite for me. When I went to a crypto conference in 2018, I think. I met Vitalik there, which was really cool. Attended some cool side events. It was cool. The metro system was great, and it's a huge city. I was really impressed. As a digital nomad, I think there's probably enough there to feel really busy and part of a great scene. Number 8, Budapest, Hungary. I've been there at least 10 times. I love Budapest. I think it's top 3 cities in Europe behind Barcelona and Lisbon. Barcelona didn't make this list. I think it's because it's kind of expensive there as a European city. But, I found this data online. I'm surprised Barcelona's not there because I do think it's the best city in Europe. But Budapest, back to Budapest, is wonderful. The language is hard, though, super hard, which puts off a lot of people. They're also quite homogenous, let's say. So I know a lot of digital nomads, people of color, kind of, I've heard, really don't do well there and don't enjoy the energy for them. Sorry for that, guys. But it's culturally rich, it's beautiful, and yeah, it's stunning, and it's cheap. It's great. I can see why digital nomads like going there and staying there. Some never leave. Number 9, over to Asia, we have Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I have been there. It seemed to me like a kind of less interesting, less developed, less culturally rich version of Bangkok. No offense to any Malay viewers. For me, it was just like a weak version of Bangkok. I didn't like it that much. I did like the bird zoo, which was cool, but I don't see why there would be that many digital nomads there. Perhaps if you're a Muslim digital nomad, that would be a really attractive scene. But in terms of finding digital nomad community, unless you're looking for a particular kind of digital nomad scene, like a Muslim one, then I'm not sure why you'd stay in Kuala Lumpur. Perhaps they have advantageous taxes or visa schemes. I'm not quite sure. And finally, number 10, not sure how it made the list because all my friends there and many of my friends who are from there tell me, don't go there. It's Cape Town, South Africa. Everyone just says it's so dangerous, it's awful. You have to spend the whole time just trying to look after yourself and not get your stuff stolen. But it's beautiful. You look at the photos. I mean, that looks like a paradise. What a wonderful place. Mountains, beaches, beautiful city, history, culture, everything all mixed together. Unfortunately, economic problems override that. Anyway, let's move on to the next section. And the next section, I'm going to whiz through super fast, so pay attention, Substreamers. Pros and cons of being a digital nomad. Pros: personal freedom, choosing where to live and work, a tailored lifestyle design. Working in the mornings, spending the afternoon in a sunny cafe or exploring the city. Cost savings, geo arbitrage, living in affordable locations, networking with global communities, and personal growth from diverse experiences. Now, you might need to relocate so that you can explore hobbies, tastes, interests, languages. Okay, so for me, that's pretty much sums up why I love living in other countries, because I like learning foreign languages, eating spicy and interesting foods, doing sports like kickboxing, Muay Thai, drinking great coffee from around the world, and taking long walks in the sunshine. The UK was obviously not a good fit for me, but Thailand is. That's why I left 10 years ago and never looked back. On to the cons. Of course, there are challenges. Gentrification is a major concern as digital nomads drive up housing prices, making it harder for locals to afford rent. This can turn some communities against us. Trust me, it happens. You only have to look at like Barcelona right now, where they're shouting about getting foreigners out. Look at Bali, where rice fields have been turned into kind of trashy little guest house hotels and all sorts. It's a mess. Just look at the traffic created on a little paradise Indonesian island, and yeah, there you go. Local affordability is just trashed, partially by us. You can't blame digital nomads alone. There are so many different factors, but there are cultural shifts that kind of disrupt the traditional way of life. You've got a strain on resources, leading to social segregation and forcing people to leave. This has happened in so many places, unfortunately. You can go read about it. I will put some links in the description for you to read about the kind of long-term effects of gentrification and how that's been responded to. Places again, Barcelona, Bali, Mexico City as well has a campaign to ask Americans to leave, basically. Then the other cons, you've got navigating visas, navigating taxes, legal complexities. You may even have complications with your employer about working in different countries. Then you've got personal challenges. For me, the hardest thing 10 years in that I still have to deal with and have to accept is the personal sacrifice that I don't get to be close to my friends and family. I made that trade-off 10 years ago. I accept it. I'm fine about it. I've grown up, but it was hard the first few years, seeing my friends together doing stuff, seeing my family together doing stuff, and knowing that I wasn't part of it, that I was no longer a character in their story. And it's hard. You get FOMO. It's a reality. If you want to be a digital nomad and travel full-time and live around the world, get used to it, because that is a really hard part, because you can't really take them with you unless you can. That's something else. That's the digital families. This totally different. Anyway, some people get lonely, depressed, feel isolated. You can solve some of that by finding a partner or by joining communities, but yeah, it's not always a solution. Yeah, I would say in my late 20s, that was the hardest part. Early pandemic, when I was late 20s, and I wasn't having a good time, obviously, because the pandemic made being a digital nomad absolutely suck. Even though it forced everyone to work remotely, no one was really enjoying it that much. Then I saw my friends getting married, having kids. Post pandemic, it was pretty terrible. I would say that was the time when I was doubting this lifestyle the most. Fortunately, I didn't give in, and came through it way better. I love this lifestyle more now than I did 7 or 8 years ago. The best part still was 10 years ago when it was all fresh and all new, and every day I jumped out of bed with like extreme zeal because I just wanted to go out and seize the day. Now I'm a bit older, I don't have the energy, but but I still really enjoy life. I enjoy it so much. Oh, hello again. Oh, let me just bring you over here. Okay, I want to talk to you this morning about different business models and the role of AI in the growth of the current digital nomad movement. Now, I went to an event last night networking with young entrepreneurs, and they have a huge advantage that I did not have 10 years ago. They have AI. They have an abundance of business resources that just simply didn't exist back then. And I'm actually kind of jealous. Like, I know now how to leverage them, but perhaps they don't. There was one particular guy who was 22 trying to build an events company. And he said, no, I'm not using AI. And I said, you really should be. It will help you a lot. I'm going to give you 10 actionable ways. I've prepared, 10 different kind of business models or ways to make money. Some of them use AI. Most of them use AI, to be honest. And I think you might like this list. Okay, let's get into it. The 10 best ways that I think you can make money online to become a digital nomad in 2025. Number one, obviously, content creation. Everybody wants to be a influencer and content creator these days. I don't know why. It's hard work, but yeah, it can pay dividends. You can build an audience that you can then leverage, and you can put in affiliate links, you can make passive income, you can make brand deals. There's a lot. Now, the downside to content creation and becoming an influencer of sorts is that it takes a long time, it takes a lot of commitment, consistency, it takes a good idea too, and there is absolutely no guarantee that it will work and that you will make money. So you take a big risk for playing the long game. That's absolutely fair, because if it does work out and you get a big audience, you can make so much money, it multiplies. Number two, drop shipping. This model's been around for ages. Fulfillment is, a pretty solid business model. All you have to do is build the platform, the site or the streams, the funnels to get sales, and then you have a fulfillment partner who basically packages up the product and ships it out to the customer. You may never actually see your own products. Pretty easy to do. You get a smaller percentage of the money, but it's a good way to make I'd say a bit of a passive income, although it takes a lot of marketing work for this to be successful. Number three, freelancing. I mean, that's how I started out. It's how millions of digital nomads start out. You pick a field that you're good at, like writing or design or coding. There's so many different things. Could be video editing, like this video, right? You could be video editing a video like this and charging the client. You could be designing logos, whatever. If you do it well, you make the money and you get reliable clients, then basically you can go to Chiang Mai or Bali or whatever, work on the rooftop or on the beach or in a cocktail bar, wherever you want to work, and just get your work done. And it's pretty fun. I love freelancing when I've done it. It's really good. Number four is, I guess, the opposite to freelancing is remote employment. Might be a little bit harder because you actually need the experience and background and employability for someone to hire you. So you may go to websites like Indeed or LinkedIn or these kind of job sites. Well-Found is another one, or you can just Google remote jobs for whatever kind of job it is that you're trying to do. You may end up working for an American company or a company in Hong Kong or Singapore or a company from your country. The important thing here is to try and find a higher salary from a higher paying country than the country you're planning to live in, so that you can geo-arbitrage your situation and essentially enjoy a higher quality of life with the higher salary, right? That's the goal. If you can make more money, save more money, it allows you to improve the quality of your travels, the consistency and the duration of your travels as a digital nomad. Basically, making more money is good. That's logic. A little tip that I give to people that they often don't think is, logically, people don't realize the jobs that make it to these websites like LinkedIn and Indeed are the worst jobs, generally speaking. They are the jobs that the company hasn't yet been able to fill, that might mean that the job kind of sucks, that it's underpaid, or that they don't know where the talent is. Now, the much better way to do it is to work with recruiters. Find industry-specific recruiters. For me, I work in Web3. I know a bunch of industry-specific Web3 recruiters, and if I need a job, I know exactly who to go to. I go to them, I explain my situation, and they already have all of the contacts to place me so well into my next role. That's the way to do it. Okay, number 5, just the agency model, right? You're a middleman, an orchestrator, the bridge, the planner, the person who's so good at finding the work on one side and delegating it or passing it on to others to actually fulfill. I've done this 3 times. I've run four agency businesses, and it's great. You sell high, you try and hire low, and you pocket the difference. You really need to be a good people person to do this, but I know friends who are multimillionaires now who started literally on Upwork and Fiverr and freelancer websites. Now, I don't really like these websites. As I explained, I think they're a race to the bottom and that they encourage people to undercut their own services, which I don't want people to do. What I do think is you can build that as a base. Your foundation is you need to learn how to get clients, and these websites might help you do that. Number 6, online coaching or consulting. Now, yeah, we all laugh about online coaches and life coaches and all these gurus trying to sell their nonsense. I'm not trying to do that in this video. Just a normal guy who's been a digital nomad for over 10 years, trying to share some of my wisdom for you. Honestly, I laugh at a lot of these guys with you because I think they're selling nonsense. And, I certainly wouldn't buy it. I certainly wouldn't waste my money on it because it's overpriced nonsense. A lot of it you can find for free online, right? What is worth paying for, perhaps, is one-on-one guidance from someone who's done exactly what you're aiming to do, right? If someone's a successful founder in the space you're trying to infiltrate, paying for their time is worth it. Just paying for the time of some random influencer you see on Instagram selling some nonsense course, that's not worth your time or money. Forget about it. Udemy, Skillshare, Coursera, YouTube, there are loads of platforms now where you can upload entire courses. Some of them you can break it down into micro classes, which are super valuable. But essentially, if this is tip number 7, by the way, if you're able to organize and structure a course, record it, edit it, make it top quality, people will pay for it. People are willing to pay for education. There are so many people who've given up on the traditional educational route and go straight to YouTube for answers. There are others who know that YouTube is just the base layer of video information, and if they want top quality instructional videos, they may have to pay for them on platforms like these. Why is that a good model for you to become a digital nomad? Because you probably have some expertise. You just have to ask yourself, what do you know more about than the average person? Build a list of things that you have advanced knowledge on. Your courses will be somewhere in that list. Okay, the next one is affiliate marketing. I've had quite a lot of success in this field, so I do recommend it. Basically, you pick a topic that you care about. I'll give you an example in a sec. You pick a topic you care about, you create content, you build deals with the suppliers or the manufacturers to sell that product, and you take a cut. It's that simple. You're basically a salesperson, but rather than doing direct sales, you're doing marketing. So I have a friend, he loves pizza ovens. He bought a pizza oven for like $250 online. He loved it. He thought it was amazing. And when he went to find more information, he found that there was nobody selling them as an affiliate online. So he bought a domain, he built a website and a blog all about pizza ovens, content about pizzas and all the things you can do with a pizza oven. And he went to 4 different suppliers and he built the relationship with them to get an affiliate fee for their machines. He then, put the links on his website so that when people went to his website, read about the ovens, clicked the links to buy, he got a decent percentage on that. He also set up an Amazon affiliate account selling extra accessories, and pretty simple, and it's a nice passive income for him. Number 9, this one, I don't think it's the best way. That's why I've kind of left it towards the end of this list. But creating digital products. Now, some people can do really well with this, but I think you really need a good graphic design eye as well as a lot of subject knowledge to succeed in creating digital products. But this is quite varied. I've seen people be quite successful selling children's like dot-to-dot drawing books or color in the lines books, which is quite funny. I think is quite cute. I've also seen people write erotic novellas or dark fiction, things like that, and put them on the Kindle store and make a pretty decent passive income from that too. Another thing is you can create teaching materials for teachers and sell them to them. Like you make a pack of homework sheets, different designs and topics, and the teachers will buy it. That's a pretty good way to make money too. But yeah, I know a guy right here in Bangkok. He writes 4 novellas, crime fiction erotica. He writes 4 of them a year, and his library of books just compounds. Every year it's growing by 4 books. Every year he's making more money. He's on part 17 of one book following the same character, which is incredible. He's just making more and more money every year. And I think there is a good amount of money to be made if you're very consistent with it. You have a clear idea. Number 10 is just trade. I know friends who are doing it. Oh my god, just trade crypto, stocks, or forex, do whatever. I'm not going to tell you how, I'm not going to give you advice, but that's a surefire way to make loads of money or lose all of your money. That can either make you a bougie successful digital nomad, or it be sending you back home to your parents' spare bedroom. I'm going to give you 3 super short anecdotes. They're a bit crazy, but they're digital nomads that I've met along the way who have taken a totally different approach to making money online. Number 1, creepy guy I met at a digital nomad event in Spain. He told me he went to Japan and he saw the size of the used women's underwear market there, and he was totally shocked. Then he went to Vietnam, where he saw the cost of living was so drastically low, and fabric production, textiles, were so incredibly low. He bought 10,000 pairs of single-use women's underwear for $100. That's 1 cent each. He then sent them 30 at a time to a network of Japanese women, and he got them to wear the underwear once for one day, package them into a small plastic bag, and once a month, once he had 30 or so pieces of underwear, send them back to him, and then he would sell them online on a marketplace. How much was he making? $10,000 a month. That was 8 years ago. He's probably making a lot more. Pretty disgusting, very disgusting, but get creative. There are ways to do things without, having to be a wrong un or resort to like crime or fetish, but you have to find your digital nomad path for yourself. Number 2, I had a friend, she was sick of teaching English online. She was just so fed up and tired, and she was only teaching like 5 hours a day, but I mean, that's quite a lot for a teacher, I'll tell you from experience. So she said, I just don't want to teach anymore, but I love the industry. I love education, right? It's valuable. So I said, okay, why not outsource yourself, find more students, more teachers, and build a small education company? And she'd literally never thought of the idea. So I helped her with it, helped her build her marketing strategy, her sales plan, where to find teachers and where to find students. And it took her 3 months, not just to replace herself, but to double her income. So within 3 months, she was not teaching 5 hours a day. She was working 1 to 2 hours a day. All she had to do was find students and find reliable teachers. She built a little platform to connect them for like scheduling classes, and that was it. And then a billing system, and that was it. She was making a lot of money, and I was really impressed that she did it all in 3 months. And I always say the best way to become a digital nomad, to force yourself, to stress yourself into success, is to absolutely fucking hate what you're doing right now. There is no better antidote, there's no better cure than becoming a digital nomad. Yeah, that's my opinion. Okay, my third little anecdote. I have a friend, he was getting married to his now wife, who is also my friend. He asked me, instead of a wedding gift, would I help her become a digital nomad? Because they were planning on taking a long honeymoon. Right? And they did. They went for 2 years. And feel like I contributed a small amount because I helped her find her digital passion, and a career that she's now still doing 6 years later. And she was a lawyer before, so she was very smart, very successful already. But what she does now is fulfilling and allows her to have total freedom. So I asked her what she had experience in, what she cared about, and we basically went through an Ikigai workshop, finding what she's good at, what she could be paid for, what the world needs, right? We got there. She cared about animals and beauty, right? She had background in makeup and cosmetics. So we basically got to the end position was that she would become a copywriter for ethical beauty brands. Nobody was doing that. Nobody was exploring that precise niche that she found, ethical beauty. And that's actually a huge industry because there's so many people who want beauty products that have not been tested on animals, that are eco-friendly, that use all natural products and resources. And so it was a wonderful niche. And yeah, she's still in it 6 years later. And I'm super proud of that. But I honestly believe, and I say to anyone, if you can get to your Ikigai, as I and many others have, you have no real reason to leave it unless you find a greater Ikigai. Ikigai. Now, I want to get into AI. I went to an AI event at a business school recently here in Bangkok, and the professor of AI was very insightful, and we had a chat after the event. And what she basically said to me is, AI can do pretty much everything now pretty well, but there's one thing it can't do, and that is copy human voice. Now, I don't mean audio, I mean writing. AI really struggles to capture the uniqueness of human experience and trauma and how that influences our writing style. Every time you write a story or a tweet or a LinkedIn post, whatever you write, you're using your entire life's background and experience to inform it. And AI doesn't have that. It doesn't have a life, right? It just is an LLM. It's just a tool. It's based on the data you feed it, and you couldn't possibly feed it an entire lifespan worth of data. And so I'm a ghostwriter, sorry, and that means my job's pretty safe for now. I don't believe it will be forever. But I see so many ways for AI to help me in my role, structuring ideas, digesting data and supplied resources, for cleaning up my notes from interviews. It is so helpful. I touch type, I have a background as a journalist, so I touch type in shorthand, and AI is able to turn my shorthand into legible notes, which I find is absolutely crazy. I don't know how it feels like it's inside my brain that it can understand that. But yeah, it's a really superpowered technology. And it's here not to steal your job, but to supercharge your productivity and your capabilities so that you can do way more. If you're planning on becoming a digital nomad, you have to learn AI tools. You have to. If you don't, you just, I believe, won't survive because all of your competitors will be doing things faster and better than you. So I'm going to give you 7 ways that you can leverage AI to become a digital nomad. You're welcome in advance. Right, the glasses are coming off. We're getting serious now. I'm going to give you 7 AI ideas. They're not necessarily business models or specific tools, but they are ways to leverage AI to improve your output. Number 1. Productivity tools. Yes, AI can manage tasks, it can manage schedules, administrative work, writing emails, and basically does all the lower level admin stuff to free you up to focus on high impact, tasks that can actually make you money. Right. Number 2, content creation. Everyone knows this. You can go to ChatGPT, which is a pretty weak tool these days compared to a lot of the newer AI models and LLMs, but it can write drafts, it can do your emails, it can create images and videos. It's impressive. But I say, get rid of ChatGPT. That's just the go-to, that's the household name. DeepSeek, Quen from Alibaba, Claude, these are much better models I recommend going and looking at. Okay, number 3, language translation. You can do so much more if you can understand other languages. Now, why not use that to access other markets? Or if you're a non-native English speaker watching this and you want to work with English-speaking clients, using AI to help you ensure that your English proficiency and competency, everything is there, is wonderful. You can actually get these AI to run English classes with you. You can get them to teach you English, but you can also get them to improve the output that you're making in English, right? They can check the English for you. They can basically be your proofreader, editor, stuff like that. Number 4, personalized learning. You can get AI to offer tailored skill development, and that can help you as a potential digital nomad to create courses, to become an expert in a particular field, and to help others. And that's really valuable. Never before in human history have we had access to such a tool that can train us as we train it to be so much better. Number 5, customer service. A lot of people I know who started small businesses, especially product-based, not so much for service-based, but especially for product-based startups, they spend so much time dealing with customer service related issues or customers. Basically, AI can do most of that for you. You can use AI chatbots to save you so much time on the pre-sale stuff, but even on the aftercare stuff, there are chatbots that can really save you time. Data analysis. This is one way that I use AI. Sometimes my clients put together incredible data reports, and I don't have time to read a 80 to 100 page quarterly report about everything going on in the industry. I just don't. But I do have great AI tools, and I pay for them, right? For the more advanced ones. So I'll just I'll straight upload the document, and I will ask it to break it down into digestible, reading material, to pick out all the data about a certain topic or whatever, and it does an amazing job. It gives me the data I need, and if I want to check the data, I just Control F and search for that data within the whole document, rather than reading the whole document and trying to memorize the whole thing, which is simply not efficient. And remember, digital nomads, potential digital nomads, you need to be highly efficient to manage your workload as you travel. Number 7, this one I've only really used with Grok, so I will specifically reference Grok. You need to pay for Twitter Premium or Pro or whatever the hell they call it these days, which I do. I pay for it, and you get access to Grok 3, the current model, the time you're watching this video. It has a deep search tool, and that deep search is absolutely amazing. You can give it a complex prompt task, basically treat it like a research assistant, as if you were a professor and you had a research assistant, and give them everything and hit research. Now, some of its tasks have taken me a couple of minutes, but there's been some that have taken up to 30 minutes. That might sound like a bad thing, but that's actually a really good thing. You've got a team of AI agents running around trying to solve your problem. That's absolutely amazing. That's like having 5 of you working on the same task at once, and you don't have to do anything. You just step away. So those are my 7 ideas for how you can leverage AI to help you become a digital nomad. Think about it. I'm not a giant, by the way. This chair is just particularly small. It makes me look much bigger. Pretty comfy though. The next thing I'd like to talk to you about, and I'm going to try and keep this short because this video is getting really long, although it's packed full of valuable information, I know that your attention might be waning. So let me go into brain drain. You may have heard this term before. If not, it's just about talented people leaving a country, right? It's the exodus of talented people. That's happening right now in the UK, where I'm from. Every 45 minutes, a millionaire leaves the UK. Every 45 minutes. That's because the country is not very supportive of its entrepreneurs. The tax system does not help its entrepreneurs. And that people know now, through globalization, that they can go and get a better life, a better quality of life in most of the world, right? The UK is kind of falling apart, but I don't want to get into that. I want to stick on brain drain. You have to assume that most of these millionaires leaving the UK every 45 minutes have some passive online or digital income. They are, whether they refer to themselves as it or not, digital nomads. Now, for countries like the UK, where they believe the average salary of people leaving the UK is around £50,000 per year, that's a huge loss of talented professionals. It's a huge loss of money to the economy. We're talking billions, tens or even hundreds of billions. It's not just the millionaires, but it's the businesses they own, and it's professionals who are now going to support the growth of other economies through their spending power. So, yeah. Brain drain is something to really consider. If you love your country, It's a really paradoxical statement, but to love your country, you have to stay. You hurt it by leaving, but the more you stay, the more you may grow to resent it, and you won't then become a digital nomad. So you have to choose between the pride of your country and the mission of your life. And if that means becoming a digital nomad, then so be it. I encourage you to do so. Leverage technology, leverage AI, leverage your network, work hard, work with every single tool you can find, and read wonderful books, because books contain the knowledge to help you. And I have 5 books here for you. Number 1, Start With Why by Simon Sinek. The one book that helped me with my businesses more than any other book. That's number 1. Number 2, The Digital Nomad Bible. Yes, it's called 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. It had some useful information for me, but for others, it was literally the most helpful thing they'd ever read in their lives. Number 3, a lot of entrepreneurs will tell you to read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That book's amazing. It's really amazing. It's so helpful, and it's like ancient wisdom. That book's super old, and it's still, everything in that book is so relevant right now. Number 4, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That is the Bible for people who believe in manifestation. And if you believe that you can manifest your success, and you will need to believe in manifestation to become a digital nomad, go and read Think and Grow Rich. It's full of golden nuggets. Honestly, it's so good. And number 5, I would say for mindset, this book, I actually have it tattooed on me, which is kind of cringe, you might think, but The Obstacle is the Way. That is the way to approach life and business, to be constantly learning, constantly successful. When you see the obstacle as the way, as part of your journey, as an opportunity to grow and succeed, you're on the right path. Okay, Substreamers, that is the wild ride of becoming a digital nomad in 2025. I hope you can string all of that together to make sense of it, that it's just not that easy, it's not that straightforward, but it's totally doable if you build a strategy and an approach. And you know, don't really worry about monkeys trying to steal your laptop. That's a joke, right? Just find countries and cultures that appeal to you, and find work that leverages your skills, abilities, and areas of curiosity. You can have a most wonderful life as a digital nomad. You don't have to become a billionaire, a millionaire, or the richest guy in the world to enjoy this lifestyle. If you make a bit more money than you spend or need to spend, and you get to live in a place that brings you much more fulfillment, that's more than you could ever ask for, really. And I know that from experience, because in the early days as a digital nomad, I had so many failures, and I had a lot of time being absolutely broke, but I was happy. I was broke and happy. And after 10 years doing this, I can tell you it's absolutely worth it. You wouldn't be here watching this video if you weren't intrigued about this lifestyle. You may be a digital nomad yourself. You may be nodding your head saying, yeah, this guy's right. This is it. This is the lifestyle. Like, absolutely. Now, we've covered the hubs, the pros and the cons, the tools, the AI, the books, killer business models. We've covered it all. And if through all of that knowledge, you've stuck around and made it to the end of the video, and you're not subscribed to Substream News, please drop me a sub, because I got way more interesting videos on the way, in production already. Thank you for watching. I'm Joseph. This is Substream, just Substream. No more Substream News. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.